Almonte's Key Food, proudly serving communities throughout Brooklyn, Queens, and Long Island for over 30 years. When you shop Key Food, you'll always find fresh products, great weekly specials, and exceptional personalized service. Visit at any of their Key Food stores at 8235 153rd Avenue, Lindenwood, New York, 935 Rosedale Road, Valley Stream, New York, and 6620 Avenue U, Brooklyn, New York.
Listen, all you New Yorkers. Taxi.
Okay, man, we're looking around.
This is the 77 WABC minicast.
Scott Kaplan, who had experience at a station down there, 560 WQAM, with Hank Goldberg, started this radio division at this internet company. And he liked me, and he gave me an opportunity on his show, which at the time, again, was strictly an internet radio show. But we were good. We were real good. Two young kids, and, he knew more about the radio business than I did. I had no idea, but we were good enough to eventually be syndicated on terrestrial radio and traded to 102.7 WNEW FM. And like most radio partners, we had a tough time, just like I had with Craig Carton and others. But for a long time, we've been very, very close. And I love him. I legitimately love him. He's a great radio talent. He taught me a lot about this business almost 30 years ago. He's an even better guy. He's on 710 AM sports radio in Los Angeles. He does stuff in San Diego as well. And he's my main man, Scott Kaplan. Cap, good morning, buddy. How are you?
Hello, Sydney.
Hello, Scotty.
What's going on, man?
Are you in San Diego right now or driving towards Los Angeles?
No, I'm in LA this morning, and I was listening to you yesterday morning when I was driving up, and I heard that rejoin that you just played with Mark Chernoff, and I've been following your adventures over the last week and change. I'm very jealous that you keep going back to Israel. I'm 56 years old, and I've still never been to Israel. And my shiksa girlfriend doesn't want to go to Israel, and I'm trying to get her to go.
Now, does she not want to go because she doesn't like Israel and Bibi, or she just doesn't like, it's too long of a trip maybe? I don't know.
No, it's more that she has like typical American fear of going to Israel and saying, well, you can't go there now. I mean, look what's going on over there. Mm-hmm. And I am of the opinion like now would be the best time to go.
Which is right. That's right.
Yeah, and so...
And ultimately, be a shiksa girlfriend, it's a heck of a lot safer, believe it or not, than taking any one of about 10 subways in New York City. I mean that.
Oh, I believe that. I mean, listen, I realize the whole world is not really on social media. And that the things that we see on social media are not necessarily like they might be filmed and part of what you see in that moment, but it doesn't mean that all of New York City happens to be like this one little isolated area and incident. But I would believe that being in Israel right now would be, I would feel very safe going over there. And but I haven't been able to convince her yet because every time we talk about going on some sort of, I would call it a more exotic trip, which we never go on because I'm married to the freaking microphone and I never leave. But if we would, she has all these other places she wants to go. I'm like, no, we got to go to Israel. She just doesn't understand what you've seen, what you've experienced, and I know what I'd like to see and experience.
It is amazing. And listen, you are busy these days. I mean, before we get to our career conversation, even in Los Angeles today, the big sports story across the country is LeBron is leaving. Will it be Golden State, stay in the state? Will it be Cleveland? Will it be Miami? And then, I'm not exactly how far you are from Santa Clara, but there's a big soccer game about to take place tonight, the U.S. taking on Bosnia. So you, right now, your city, your state is the center of sports talk.
Oh, Sid, let me tell you. I think when you're in New York, and I know this is the way it was for me when I was in Florida, when I was in New York, when I was East Coast based. I mean, I really thought of people in California. First, I thought of them as being slow and dumb. And then I thought of them as being, not passionate sports fans, show up late, leave early, all these kinds of things. Every perception I had 25 years ago of LA, the West Coast, was completely wrong. We think about New York, and again, back in the day, you're fighting to get a cab on the streets. The grocery stores, they're tighter. You're fighting to get to different products and stuff. Just New York back then, to me, seemed like 100 miles an hour and vibrating at all times. Southern California, Sydney, I'm telling you, it may not be as public transportation, although there is a subway system in LA, and it may not be fighting for cabs. And the freeways may be gigantic, but there's just because there's so many cars. But people out here grind, they hustle, they're smart, they're competitive. And when it comes to sports, the fan bases are insanely passionate. Whether, I cover the Lakers and the Dodgers in particular, and the Rams and USC football. And these programs, these organizations, and these fan bases are really serious, and they're really vast. And when it comes to sports right now, we are in an epicenter because, Sid, LeBron James yesterday, I'm on the air live at 9:01 a.m. yesterday when this news breaks that LeBron is gone. And half the people absolutely love him and appreciate the fact that he brought the Lakers a championship because the post-Kobe era was so bad in Lakers history. And then there's another half of the people that are like, get him out of here. It's time to build a new team. I look at the Knicks and I look at the stars that the Knicks have, but how long it took for the Knicks to achieve a championship and really make a true championship run. The Lakers have to start over, and the only way to do that is to get rid of this overbearing presence that has had control of the organization. And when you talk about the World Cup, Sid, last night, I'm in downtown LA at a fancy Mexican restaurant called Javier's. This is not street tacos, man. This is like high-end, 5-star, super fancy Mexican restaurant, and the place is just jam-packed. And when Mexico scores these goals in the World Cup, the place is on fire. And so you've got Canada who's made it through. You've got Mexico who's made it through. And tonight, the U.S., you guys are up. You guys are on the stage. And Santa Clara is up in, it's a little bit south of San Francisco where the 49ers play. But SoFi Stadium, where the Rams play, has also been hosting so many of these games. So the World Cup out here, I'm presuming it's the exact same way, given that the finals at MetLife. The town, the state, the world of sports on fire right now out here.
No, it is. That's you just really explained it perfectly. All that's going on out there. And also very similar to New York, not just the rabid sports fan and the hustle and the bustle is you guys also cheat on your elections because somewhere in L.A. today, Spencer Pratt is walking around looking for a job when he should be the next mayor.
Well, every time you and I have these conversations, I always say the same thing to you. If you want to talk about Tommy Edmonds, who just returned from injury from the Dodgers, and you want to talk about the spectacular diving play he made at third base last night against the Oakland A's, or I guess now you call them the Sacramento Athletics on the way to Las Vegas, I am your guy. When it comes to talking about politics, and you mentioned Spencer Pratt, I'm like, who is that?
No. You see, you say that, but it's not really true. See, one of the things I love most about you, and by the way, your son Justin would make sure you know who Spencer Pratt is. Justin's the real deal, like us. You told me, he's a great kid. He's such a smart kid.
Look, Sydney, my son Justin is one of these kids that gets his information from TikTok and can't wait to remove himself from the state of California. When I say to him, I say, gas prices are so expensive. I wish the war would come to an end so gas prices would come down. You know what he says to me? He goes, it's not about the war, you big dummy. He goes, it's about the taxes in the state of California. It's Gavin Newsom's fault. So my son,
yeah, he's a genius.
My son gets all of it from TikTok.
Yeah, he's right. So wherever he gets it from, Justin is a very smart boy. But you told me way back when, as I get set to get inducted in October, that, listen, we're doing sports, Sid. But it's not all about sports. It's great that you know that, I'll never forget this, you had a fight one time at a golf course with Sandy Koufax down in South Florida. He said, it's great that you know that Richard Hamilton's nickname is Rip, but not everybody knows that. And I remember at the time I was like, what are you, stupid? Everybody knows that. What I'm going to tell you is that a lot of the stuff you told me 30 years ago, if not all of it, was right. And as my career moved along and I made that switch from sports to politics, even though I do a ton of sports on this show every morning, what you wanted me to become and our show to become was more than that. No matter what the genre is, sports, politics, Scott, when I started to do that, that's when my career took off. So what I'm telling you is, in the mid-1990s, when no one was saying that, you did, and you're right.
Yeah, and well, thank you. And listen, you and I, and I know you said this at the beginning when we were first coming on, I know your audience adores you and loves you. When we were younger and we had this vision of what we wanted to be, and we were both crazy sports fans, but we both had a lot of strong opinions about other stuff. And in the right venue, you can really do that. And you have achieved a place in your career where you've been able to do it. Listen, when you and I were at NEW, we were tasked, if you will, with trying to stay on course, but we didn't really know what the course was. And honestly, neither did management.